to my studio. My name is MaryMarcotte, and I would like to show you the studio that my husband and one of my boys, our boys, helped to build a few years ago. I absolutely love this space, and I thought, it's time to show other people what it's like. So if you give me, this is a space that is my workroom, and in fact you can see there's a work table right here. Everything is a little bit tight, but that's okay because I work by myself. Across from me, across from the work table, is this beautiful set of drawers that the boys built for space. Is the space that is farthest from the living area. It's my workroom, and it is where I do all of my cutting and planning, and I just have keepsakes that I like to have here close by. I'm going to show you some of the things that are in here. This is these are all the dies for the studio cutter from AccuQuilt, and there are patterns, and that red container up there is just full of pin cushions that I give away every now and then. All of these drawers are pattern drawers, all four of them. I've been collecting patterns for over 40 years now, so I have a lot of them. Also, everything, every pattern, every item that my mother had, every item that my mother-in-law had, and a few other people, all of those items are now part of my collection, I guess you could call it. So these drawers all hold notions. These are buttons, nicely separated buttons. Further down here, zippers. I know, right? How many zippers does a girl need? Someone that I knew passed away, and her family wanted to get rid of her stuff, and they just said, come get it. And so it ended up here. These big drawers, this is the work table, and this is what it looks like almost all the time. These big drawers here hold big, huge pieces of fleece that I got a few years ago. Whoops, there we are. A few years ago when my husband retired from, and the place was closed, from Garin Incorporated. So there are 4 drawers, those big drawers, on each side of the work table. So there's some here also. And these hold other things. For example, this holds the stuff for my ironing, and all of the little dabs of batting, that we can't throw away. And this one is full of stuff to make baptismal gowns, which every now and then I do make. My husband wanted to put together a pegboard, and so I decorated it with old patterns, and well, now you almost can't see them. He also made this ruler holder that goes across the whole space, and that's great to have, because every ruler is in a place, and they're all put away somewhere, but I can find them easily, so that is wonderful. By the window over here, notice I don't have any curtains. I want as much light coming in as possible, but in front of this window is the silhouette cameo that my daughter-in-law gave me, and right here, cutter that I was talking about, the studio cutter from AccuQuilt. And then behind me when I'm working is the fabric, and I'm going to back up and give you a chance to see those shelves that they made for me. Aren't those wonderful? Everything is on a mini bolt, everything that is big enough, and that's usually like a half yard or so. In those containers to the right are small pieces of fabric that I like to have. They're like collections. There's a collection of just plaids and stripes. There's a collection of cafe fabric, solids, uh, words. Fabric with words on them. I collected that for a while. Down here are fabrics that I can use for backing. And this is all the little novelty baby stuff. I used to make a lot of baby quilts. What we're walking into right now used to be a closet. They took the doors off, and they also opened up the wall between the two closets. So I'm standing in what would have been the closet for the workroom. And my poor guys, I said, I want cubbies, lots of cubbies. And so that's what they did. They built cubbies for me. Each row is for a particular color, and it's all in Roy G. Bivens, whatever it is, but it starts with the whites and the off-whites, and then pink, then red. Look at those reds. Orange, yellow down here. That's just stuff down there. On the opposite side is the same thing. Greens, blues, purples, and then I ran into some problems. I'm running out of space. So grays, indigos, navies, browns, blacks, and scraps. Oh, I don't know why this is here. Okay. In the other closet, I have some sewing machines that I use when I teach classes, especially when I teach children's classes. These things, oh my goodness, I love these. I've had these for years. They're just organizers that came from, I don't know, a store that, like a Lowe's or something like that. That was my mother-in-law's old sewing box, and I just couldn't let it go. On this side, we have, starting at the top, just a row of leather that someone gave me. And it is so nice to have this, because when I make purses and bags, I can use them for straps, and I can use them for zipper pulls and that sort of thing. And the rest of this is just sort of the stuff that I've collected. All of these right here, those are all bags that I've either made or picked up somewhere. These bags have kits of quilts that I need to make, and I usually bring those with me when we travel. Everything else you can see, it's just the things that, we collect. These fabrics are all the fabrics that are upholstery fabrics. And so now we leave this closet and those nice shelves, and we're going into the sewing room. This is my Bernina, which is the sewing machine. But I have others. There are 2 sergers right here. And this machine right here, see if I can open this without knocking anything over. This is for a granddaughter who every now and then comes to sew. She's 15 now, so she doesn't come as often as she did when she was, say, 12 and 13. Just another desk. All of these little drawers have things in them for a particular sewing machine. So sewing machine items are not mixed up. A box of sheets to use for backing. Oh, well, let me show you some of my quilts. That's a quilt of my mom. And I used to collect little plates with roses on them. Here's one that was inspired by my grandmother's buttons, and that is my grandmother right there. My sisters say it is too real. She's kind of creepy, which I think is wonderful. They are watching me. Some of my stained glass quilts are on the design wall, which is this huge wall. It's 8 by 8. Behind my table are where all of my threads are. My husband made this, I'm coming around, this cabinet for me several years ago, and my goodness, could he have done any better? Take a look at this. Here we go. Here's some blues. I have them, of course, in order, and it's in the exact same order as the fabrics. Everything has to be in the same color order. Okay, and then this is a library card holder. I was a librarian for several years. In fact, I was a librarian for 10 years, and everything became automated while I was a librarian, and I guess I got kind of lucky. So, moving on, here's some more of my quilts right here. I think those are like the newer improv quilts. And these quilts on this rack right here, and they are piling up. These are all art quilts. And then the long arm, which is a mess right now. Of course, something is always a mess. If I clean one thing up, another space gets messed up. I don't know how that happens, but it does. Right here, and I'm going to just kind of show it to you. Right here's my little wagon. My children gave me this little wagon a couple of years ago as a Christmas gift. It is wonderful. I leave all of my stuff for traveling, going to retreats and such in that wagon. So it's nice when I'm ready to go, just grab the wagon. And this is the last of it right here. Shelves with some of these little handmade quilts. Some stuff for the long arm. Of course, this girl, and batting, and books. And that's it. That's everything. Oh, no, it's not everything. I haven't shown you my cabinet for my book. This is where I keep my books. This World So Fierce. It's the one that I wrote, and I keep everything here. So when somebody orders a book, it doesn't take very long to put it in the mail. There's another quilt right there, another art quilt. That's an old cotton gin. And something that I want to show you over here is another quilt. This one is a quilt of my parents' barn where I grew up. Okay, now I thank you for visiting. Goodbye.